Welcome back to episode 18 of Conversations with Rob and Lou.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be the most disgusting episode yet because I'm probably going to be sniffling and coughing and clearing my throat and making weird noises.
Nice.
But I don't know.
I thought you meant the topic or something.
No. I don't know what the topic is, but I look forward to listening back to this and seeing if I sound very noticeably different.
Nice.
Yeah, because Louis says he can't tell.
Yeah, he's done better than the previous days.
Yeah, good.
But it makes me think of this Eminem song where he rhymes the word disgusting with this discussing.
That's good. That's good.
Because we are going to be discussing something.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of Eminem, I just earlier this morning was listening to the Lex Friedman podcast, and he had on Kanye West.
Oh, nice.
Who's become like a big topic for the past week or something. I don't know what he did, but he became really popular again. Mm-hmm. And he renamed himself to Ye. Y-E.
Nice.
So he says, just call me Ye. Instead of Kanye.
Oh,
yeah. And listening to him, it was like almost a sad podcast for Lex to do because I haven't finished. I only listened to the first like 40 minutes, but I couldn't help but think that while he was doing the podcast, like Kanye definitely seems very abnormal and potentially in our society would be viewed as mentally ill.
Sure.
And it was interesting listening to Lex have to address him with respect and like
I can see that.
Yeah, it was just a very like I don't know if that's how Lex is feeling, but it seemed like the kind of thing where he was getting where he was questioning, should I have done this podcast where people or the guests will think like that I'm just respecting them because I'm going to respect anyone coming on, or yeah it seemed like a kind of sad situation. But
yeah, like a big mismatch of like Lex is a very like formal,
yeah,
like straight-laced sort of guy, and Kanye is just like insane and has no or not insane, but like chaotic.
Yeah, like just doesn't stick to the same topic and
or it's like playing a different game almost.
Yeah,
like let's play like social game, being like formal and respectful.
Yeah,
and then Kanye is just like in another world.
Yeah, just with weird ideas about everyone being a Jew and. I forget what else he said, but he said some weird stuff. It was interesting. I'll finish it.
He's been on 4chan.
Yeah, he's been on 4chan. That was one place I never went to, but would always hear about 4chan was just like, what, a free Twitter or something? Or like a Reddit?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably similar to Twitter. Like, I haven't used it very much. I've gone on the Reddit that like reposts some 4chan stuff, just like to see what's on there.
Yeah, what do people go on it for?
I don't know enough. I think there's a lot of different. I think it's divided into like pages, or like like Reddit has like the subreddits.
Yeah,
I think 4chan is like has bigger ones where it's like -A and -B, or -TV and stuff.
And they break up.
It's like different.
What would -A be?
Like I think A and B are like the main boards, and like A is like the one like people use a lot, and then B is like a secondary one. But then there's one that there's like the politics one. I think it's POL or something.
Okay, wait. So -A would be like the main chat room where everyone on 4chan goes?
I think.
I guess because it's probably smaller than Reddit.
But I think most of them are themed, and then some of them are just like a letter, where it's just like a general thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's kind of like a culture in each one, where it's like some of them are a bunch of incels, and some are a bunch of like crazy people.
Yeah, why is 4chan so much like that? Because that's the people in high school who were like that were the ones who were telling me about 4chan.
Yeah. I think part of it is that it's like completely lawless, whereas people can just say whatever they want, and like when you don't like prevent people from saying crazy things, people start realizing that the crazy things make sense, and then they start becoming crazy too. Or not crazy, but like like being incels and being like, maybe women are evil or something.
Yeah, that's good.
Or like maybe everyone is a Jew or something like that. It's like, I feel like that's like a place where like like ideas that aren't in touch with reality but sound attractive can sort of like spread, and if there's no one stopping it from spreading, it just becomes like the people stop caring about reality.
Yeah.
And just listen to the crazy idea.
And I would wonder if 4chan became like that because it did, like, depending on when it popped up, if it popped up before or during or after a bunch of other social media things popped up.
Yeah.
That could really affect who was on the platform, because if it was afterwards, then it could be a bunch of people who got kicked off of other platforms and then had to go there and post stuff. But if it was during, then I feel like if it was during or before, then it would have maybe turned out a different way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to say.
I'm pretty sure it started, it seems like an early internet thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
it probably started at the beginning, but it's probably gotten more users as people get kicked off the other things.
Yeah, that's probably the main lure. Like, it's probably worse in a lot of ways in terms of UI or something like that. And
From what I've seen, it's very like bare bones.
yeah,
Like it's just like the green text with arrows.
that's good. I've never been there.
It's like an HTML thing.
I want to check it out just
Yeah.
to see what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds.
No, I tried going on it specifically, and it's like it doesn't seem great because it's like you just open like the A, like -A or whatever, and it's just like millions of posts, and they're all just kind of random. Like they're not like the funny posts that you see. They're just like
Yeah. Like they're not ranked. They're just by recent.
at least when I'm there, yeah, it seemed like a just recent. Like
Wow.
maybe I think there's probably like a trending or like a top or
Yeah.
something. Like probably not like an algorithm, but like there's probably something.
Yeah.
But the Reddit is like a I think it's like r-4chan or something, and it's people would like find funny posts and put them on there.
So the best of 4chan ends
Yeah.
up on Reddit. Nice.
Right.
Yeah. No, Reddit's really good. Like that's the
Yeah.
place to go if you need to read an honest review of
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
because you can't trust the review sites. I feel like those are all bots that have just been paid off to
Mm-hmm.
write stuff on these review sites, or even real people who they pay and say, hey, write this thing.
Yeah.
And that could be happening on Reddit, but I think it's maybe less of a target
Mm-hmm.
because it does not pop up as a review unless you search the
Right.
thing and then say Reddit afterwards.
Right. Also, it always has like 10 upvotes or something. And
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. Yeah, they have a good
It's not
way.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, they have a good way of ranking it, and
Well, it's not big enough to be worth paying for.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I've tried posting stuff on Reddit before, and they limit you based on how many likes your account has gotten, or some like
Right.
some thing like that. Some maybe it's karma. They
Yeah, I
call
think it's
it.
karma,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you don't have enough, then you just can't post just in certain thread. I don't know actually how you would gain it.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
you
it's like-
can't make certain threads. I think.
I haven't tried using it too much, but I know I think certain subreddits have different restrictions.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, but that stops probably a lot of the bots. Who,
Yeah.
And just like the companies who would pay someone who's just an employee of theirs, go make some good reviews. They can't if they
Right.
if they don't have a Reddit account already, and they probably don't want to use their personal to do that. So
Right. And the 50-year-old people don't get how to get more karma. They have to like
yeah,
research like how do I do this
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
So it is a pretty good system. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. But overall, it makes for like a very good review site. That
Yeah.
as long as it stays niche enough, so that there's not a
Right.
big following there, then it won't be worth targeting, because it could be
Yeah.
targeted probably
Definitely.
somehow. Yeah.
No, yeah. I think Reddit seems like, at least in the past, it was really good. I think these days, at least from what I've heard, it's very it's gotten very like political and like
yeah.
full of very like woke, or not woke, but like woke / like radical left type stuff.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Like there's something about the anti-work subreddit.
The anti-work. I believe it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was like someone. I think someone was on the news for it.
Oh,
Like one of the moderators was on the news, and like people were like really mad about it.
nice.
But I don't know the full story. But
Yeah, that's good.
But I think any social media platform like that is like has like good parts to it, but is overall going to end up becoming a little degenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes me want to look up the Reddit threads about the Rings of Power, the new Amazon series,
yeah.
because the comment or the reviews on Amazon itself seemed so fake.
Yeah, that
Like
was
I can't
weird.
believe, I just can't believe that many people were 5-starring it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing of like the star ratings seemed super fake.
Yeah, they
Because it was like all 5 stars and no 4 stars.
yeah.
But then the reviews, I would say they seemed almost real.
No, they seemed real. Like, and I bet it's because they must have had some people going through
Like
and
authors, yeah.
Yeah, just write 5 reviews an hour, and they do. I mean, there weren't that many. There were 20,000 reviews, and we were only reading like the top ones. So it's like the ones at the bottom could have been like a few words, but
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. But you could easily fake that if you're Amazon and you spent 700 million
Yeah.
making the show. Why not spend 100,000 paying people for the first week it's up
Right.
to post some reviews?
And also just like make a few good reviews and have those be like the ones that get like
That get
vo-
shown.
voted up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
to be at the top that you see first.
That's probably
Yeah.
what happened, because
There's a decent chance,
they
yeah.
did not target anyone good with that show.
No.
Like, no one who liked Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
should have really liked it.
Mm-mm.
And if you weren't a fan of Lord of the Rings, then there was no reason to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be... I'm trying to think. There's got to be somebody...
No, there are, actually. I was watching...
I don't know. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I popped over to YouTube.
Mhm.
I forget why I was wanting to look up the very first YouTuber that I ever watched.
Mm.
And he just does Minecraft videos. It's Paul Soares Jr.
Oh.
And I watched his Minecraft How to Survive and Thrive series way back when it was because I had Minecraft and I needed to learn how to play, and I found his tutorial videos, and that's how I found YouTube at all, really.
Ooh,
Like, I
that's
didn't
cool.
really watch YouTube videos, and I saw like, oh, they have like Minecraft on YouTube. Let me watch this. And he was always a big fan of Lord of the Rings and fantasy stuff, and would do like Minecraft Lord of the Rings mods. And
Nice.
some of his more recent videos, he's really fallen out of popularity.
I imagine.
Like, he was getting like sometimes 1 million views per video on his Minecraft videos in the past.
Yeah, like early on, that was...
Yeah, now
that was like
and-
1 billion views.
Yeah, it was a ton, and now he's getting like 13,000 on his videos, which is still like a lot, but compared to his peak,
Yeah.
it's nothing. Anyways, he was posting Minecraft Lord of the Rings mod videos now because out of nostalgia when the show came out, he decided to do another series of that. And I just clicked on one to see what he would say about it. And he was just talking about, I think, oh, they've made such beautiful landscapes and I've gotten just whisked away into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I like, they obviously weren't paying him to say that. Like,
Right.
he was too small and not really affecting anyone. But there are some people out there who
Yeah.
are real people who just watched it and didn't know maybe enough about the lore to know that this is nonsense,
Yeah.
and are just maybe older people who are used to kind of sitcom-y, weird explanations for things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Or people that just don't care too much about like the things that we took objection to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many weird like, just like it was just kind of poorly made in some parts, and just like none of the characters seem very important almost. But I think it's like, yeah, if you are just watching it for the landscapes and like for kind of
Just
a
a
new take on
nostalgia
things.
to be
Yeah.
in the Lord of the Rings.
or yeah, or just the fact that it is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
why I was watching it by the end of it. That's why I was watching it.
Yeah, that's what excited me at first. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess everything is possible to like if you don't care or don't notice the issues with it.
Yeah. Like, my biggest gripe was that it was just boring. Like,
Yeah.
not too much interesting happened throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought it was boring, and I think to me just the fact that it was like poorly made, like they just seem to leave out scenes or like just kind of like make mistakes. Like, I feel like not if you care about spoilers about this, which
Yeah.
I don't think you should.
Get out of here.
But I feel like Isildur, like it shows him at the end or like a few
Near the middle of
like 30 minutes from the end or something, like getting someone out of the rubble, and then 10 minutes later, like his dad is acting like he's dead, and we just never see him again.
Yeah, they do address the fact that he's gone.
Yeah, like they think he's
And-
gone, but like we see him alive with
Oh,
one of
yeah,
his friends,
and we know he's alive, but
like he has to be alive, obviously.
I don't know if that was him anymore. Like, I can't imagine.
But like we almost have to like trick ourselves in the past. And be like,
Yeah, and
there's no way it could have been him.
Yeah,
So
I do
think-
want to look back at that
Yeah,
scene,
maybe we
honestly,
should.
and just see what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Because they definitely showed him doing something. Maybe we just talked over
Yeah.
or missed the scene where he then
possible.
disappeared, and like maybe he was helping someone in the rubble and ran into the inn and it collapsed or something like that.
maybe.
But yeah,
But there was just stuff like that where it's just like, if they watched this themselves, they would have noticed this.
yeah,
And I don't know, like that alone makes it default bad for me.
yeah.
Like you can't make something good that has that many issues.
And that's the kind of scary thing about it was that they spent 700 million on this. And it just, I don't know what they thought, but it seemed like they didn't have anyone watch it or read the script before they started filming it or do anything who had any say over it. They did, like, no one important enough was able to edit it
Yeah.
and stop them from doing this.
Or like no one with
before-
any sense.
Yeah.
Or like independence.
Yeah.
Like it almost seems like one of those things where it's like a corporate environment where nobody, like everyone's too scared to like object to anything.
Yeah.
So they all just end up like agreeing on this terrible idea.
Yeah.
And along the way, like nobody, like everybody realizes there's something wrong with it, but no one's brave enough to say anything. And in the end, you get something that's like clearly terrible.
Yeah. And it's also the kind of thing where I think this series is probably too big to fail in the sense that Amazon spent so much on it and spent so much acquiring the rights to it that no matter how bad it is, they're going to make season 2.
Right.
And these people will have jobs no matter what. And so they're not necessarily worried about making it a huge success. They know they are going to get a ton of viewers at the beginning and probably have a bunch of viewers for season 2.
Yeah, I'll watch season 2.
Yeah, I'll watch season 2 too. But
At least the first episode.
yeah, just to
But
see
yeah.
what's going on. But it's like there was no drive or pull or push
there's
to
no
make
risk.
them to have them make it good. They weren't worried about it, so they just did a kind of job and
Yeah.
didn't maybe care about their jobs that much and just did the
Right.
work and got paid and went home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like that's part of the issue is that it's too big. Whereas like if it's a small thing, then everybody has like some skin in the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like if it's a 10-person group, like they each think like this is my project that I'm contributing 10% of it.
Yeah.
But if it's like 1,000 employees each getting paid $10,000 or 1,000 whatever like if it's that many people, then each person just doesn't care enough to actually
Yeah. Because they're none of them
Like-
are to blame individually.
Right.
Like they're not going to be fired or anything.
Yeah, but also like each one is too small to have like their own opinion or like to be listened to if they speak out
Yeah.
and point out that something's bad.
Yeah. And that kind of harkens
Yeah.
back to like why a tribal society might be a lot more efficient with their resources than how we are in this big country where
Right.
a lot of people seem to not do much work. And it all seems like the kind of thing that is really bad and will eventually fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Even
once it
though-
gets too big,
yeah,
it's
even though it's like we're just drowning in the wealth right now. It seems like the kind of thing that over time, like the Lord of the Rings series, if a company just kept making those over and over versus some small companies popping up that had indie movies with lower budgets that they would probably end up popping off more than Lord of the Rings and getting more views.
right.
Kind of like Game of Thrones did.
Yeah.
Because that seemed very low budget at the beginning.
And it started out super good and it
yeah.
got worse.
Yeah, as the budget went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the kind of like, I think it's hard to like put in isolation, but it's like, I feel like every time, this is the thing with indie games too, where it's like, if things start out small, they can be really good, but then as they get too big, then they start getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I feel like the U.S. started out pretty small with like the founding fathers and stuff.
Yep.
And now that we're too big, like no one cares anymore.
Yeah, no one's doing any good work anymore.
And it's like also like no one's vote. There's like no one smart that has like a say in what goes on.
yeah.
Like even the politicians are just like a part of a bigger system.
Yeah, like no one has an ultimate say really what
Yeah.
goes on
yeah, it's
for
like
the most part.
like there's no there's no it's almost like we're in like a totalitarian government where it's like there's not one person saying things. It's just like some weird group, like a group mentality or like a group like action of like there's just this Democratic Party and this Republican Party that no one's really controlling. It's just doing its own thing and is leading us to ruin because nobody can stop it.
And soon a smaller group will take over and make it better.
Or make it their own,
Or-
at least.
Well, yeah. I meant like a smaller group, maybe another country, like a small country or something.
Or the moon.
Or the moon. Yeah, when Elon's taking us to the moon, that could be good.
Yeah.
But even
That's too far.
yeah.
That references to something else we've talked about.
Ooh, excuse me. But even China like is so big that it's not doing as good as it could. Even though we
Yeah.
talk about how China's doing way better than the US, even they just reelected their president, which I don't know how legitimate it was, but they reelected him, and the stock market in China dropped a lot because he's going to continue his zero COVID policy
Oh, nice.
of like lockdowns and stuff. And it is kind of the same thing where it's like,
Yeah.
it's such a big system, and just regardless of if there's one person in charge at the top or a bunch, no one else around has enough of a say who has the sense to say this isn't right to actually have an impact. So it almost seems like
Right.
regardless of how the system is set up.
Yeah, like once it lasts too long,
Yeah, and it
starts
gets
to
too big.
Yeah.
Because Amazon, The Lord of the Rings, that didn't last very long. It was one season they did. It just started out too big.
Yeah, I think the issue is it's already an offshoot of Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon's too big already.
That's true.
But yeah, the thing about China, like, obviously I don't know that much about how the country actually works, but it seems like some of the people in power are like kind of like the masterminds behind what they're doing. And I think the key about it is that like it's a couple people or like however many people that like are individually making plans and like discussing what the right thing to do is.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the US is just like these branches of our government, and each branch is way too big to like work together and make a master plan or something.
Yeah.
Obviously there's somebody making some plans. Like we're killing terrorists and stuff, or we're doing something.
Yeah.
But it seems like we're not making many plans.
It does seem that way.
But it might seem like that in China too. I don't know. But
yeah, I think in China they probably are making a lot more plans. Yeah. It seems like, at least from our perspective. Right. I don't know what the propaganda in China is, where they're saying, "In the U.S. is doing all this. We need."
Yeah, they're scheming to. Yeah.
But regardless, it seems like they do have more because they do have like the lockdown still going on and all kinds of stuff. And I was thinking it was actually, as I was coughing, I was like, the difference between China and the U.S. is there is a lockdown in the U.S. Not that I have COVID. I don't have COVID. I was sick a few days ago. Now I just have
the plague.
Yeah, I just have a residual cough, which sounds like COVID, but it's not.
Guys, trust. Don't click off the video.
Yeah,
you don't have COVID.
Click off. It's not. Yeah,
we're not diseased.
Yeah, but the fact that I'm like you're making a video, we're sitting right next to you, like coughing, in this really small room, actually with you. Mm-hmm. Not that you'll get sick from this.
But actually, it's a trick of the camera. We're actually socially distanced.
Yeah, it is. It's 6 feet over. We edited it together. Yeah,
I always thought the social distancing was so funny. Like,
yeah, that was.
It's almost like it's like telling you that it's like preventing you from being social.
Yeah.
Like, what does social distancing mean? Like,
yeah, they became a little transparent with the lockdown.
Yeah, it's like the pot calling the kettle black or something.
Yeah.
So something. Anyway, derailing the conversation.
But there is like just a stark difference between what we're doing here and almost what a lot of people would like us to do. Like if we let people tell us, then we wouldn't be making this podcast. We would I would be locked up in a different room because I have a cough right now. Yeah.
But that's we've thankfully like held on to some of the things that make people actually able to do stuff. Because like we don't have that much say in the government, but at least we have like each individual person has a potential to, make art or make like a business or do like make some achievement that like starts their own tribe or their own like indie game or indie movie or whatever.
Yeah, because that's what I would really like, to be able to make something where it wasn't then under the confines of what a government or other group can do. That's really what I'm seeking.
Right.
Is to make something not like a product, but like not even necessarily a group, but just a space in the universe where there aren't the worries that someone else's will affect what I'm able to do and make things bad from my point of view. Yeah.
Make your own little world outside of whatever that is.
Yeah, because if everyone was able to do that, I bet, assuming that they don't get really lonely living if everyone's in their own little world, then I bet people would be a lot happier, because it seems like a lot of what makes people unhappy is having to conform to other people's ideas and their rules and do what they're told.
And like the big organizations like imposing their will on you.
Yeah.
People don't like you, like people like use TikTok a bunch.
Yeah.
But they don't really enjoy it. Like they're slaves to it almost.
Yeah.
And it's because TikTok is this big, really effective thing.
Yeah. And like as a kid, you can see a kid just wants to run around and the parent says, no, you can't do that. You can't do this. And they maybe have the reasons for it, but it's their reasons and not the kids' reasons. And so that's what makes the kids upset.
Right. And the kids are the happiest people in the world because they're just in their own world.
Exactly. And then they start to cry when they get told what to do.
Yes. And then they become boring adults.
Yeah.
But no, this goes back to the thing about the YouTube thumbnails.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I almost want to use YouTube and be a part of the YouTube world or whatever, but be removed from all the other like stuff built upon the YouTube. Whereas like YouTube has like the URL, it has like the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, people have made like this weird culture about thumbnails.
Yeah.
Where so you draw attention by doing these things that Mr. Beast did or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like the idea of like doing some of it and not like being worse,
Yeah.
but like kind of trying to understand it and like step back and do your own thing.
Yeah.
That like it's in the same YouTube world but different.
Yeah.
Enough.
I view it almost as, I don't know if it's the culture of YouTube that dictated what those people did so much as just general human psychology and what ended up attracting people's eye to it the most. Like, I think that ended up leading more to it, because I don't know if there are necessarily YouTube trends. I guess there are probably trends where people do similar stuff. But I think they only started doing those things because someone did it by happen chance, or they thought it would work, and then it did.
It's the exact same as evolution.
Yeah.
Whereas like different organisms evolve, and it's like one monkey starts using a rock to hit something, and like all the monkeys are like, hey, we should try doing that.
Yeah.
And then they start using a stick to like get termites or whatever, and they start doing that.
And so that's why I kind of like going down that way, because it is the best way, and I wouldn't want to be using a stick when I have a cell phone.
But the issue is that when there's like 7 billion monkeys on the internet, if you do the same things that they evolved to do, maybe you can modify it slightly, but you have to compete with all 7 billion other ones.
Yeah.
But if we were like God deciding what gets evolved, we can go back in time and say, instead of evolving from a rat to a monkey, let's go from a rat to like some different type of monkey thing that can climb trees with their feet instead of their hands.
Yeah.
It's like we have the power to change things more radically.
Yeah, that is an interesting idea.
Just very risky. But
it's more of like a hit or miss strategy than the other way, which is good in some ways, because you definitely have the potential to really do something that you do have the complete control over.
Make your own world.
Yeah, make your own world. Yeah, I do like that. Which is in a way like just the essence of like doing a podcast or doing a YouTube channel at all. Like in a slightly different way, you're trying to get away from having the 9 to 5 and the boss.
Right.
But now, taking it a step further even. You don't want to have to do it in a certain way. You want to truly make it your own.
Yeah, because once too many people start realizing that you can do something other than the 9 to 5, it becomes too big of a market to be unique.
Yeah.
The tribe gets too big. Yeah.
And really, we should be uploading it to our own website.
That's super. I like being in the YouTube world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Mars.
Yeah. That is a very interesting idea, though. I think that is a good way of doing it. Yeah.
Obviously, like some moderation of it.
Yeah, not like completely being unique, but for the most part, that is a pretty good way. Yeah. While who would be attracted to it? Like, how will we know? Because the 7 billion monkeys are attracted to their evolution. Like, what will we be getting necessarily?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Because if we're creating a new species, like you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, the way evolution works is that the species sort of just like occur randomly, and it's like they'll either outcompete the things around them that are similar, or they'll kind of like almost like invent a new niche of like they didn't used to be things that could break down wood, but once there were a bunch of trees falling down, like termites started evolving that could eat the wood and turn it into like back into sugars.
Yes.
And it's like they almost like built the possibility for that by randomly evolving into the niche. So it's like maybe there's people who watch a bunch of YouTube and realize that they're addicted to it and don't want to use it anymore. We could be like the antidote of like people get out or like stop watching the Mr. Beast stuff and see, here's a slightly different thumbnail. Let's click on this video and see these two guys who like are talking about some different thing. I don't know.
And then, as long as the people stick around. And the guy from Brazil commented again. He was like, you mentioned me in the beginning of your video.
That's really good, you're our only fan right now.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. But our only fan who we don't know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so the first from Brazil.
The first fan that doesn't like is a fan of the podcast and not of like our personalities.
Yeah, exactly. Someone who doesn't know us in real life. Is the way. Yeah. So thank you for watching and spread it around. Let's create a new empire in Brazil.
Yeah, like Jesus's apostles. You'll be rewarded handsomely.
I don't know how well he's following it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I should say something like that.
Yeah, no, that is a good thing.
So much power now. Yeah.
I know we have power, and in the last 4 seconds, what should we say? What's our message?
Once the tribe gets too big, it becomes degenerate.
Yep, let's keep
and
this
there's nothing to be gained.
Under 10,000. Let's keep it bigger. Let's get it big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll let it get too big for us.
Yeah.
But
All right. We'll see you next time.
yeah. Thanks for watching.